This unison should all. I'm going to assume your tempo is about. Yeah?
Close enough.
Okay. If I stand here, is that helpful for everyone? Okay. Let's try it. 1, 2. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? Old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne will take a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. So before we go on to verse 2, I don't know what Gary has told you, so if I say something that contradicts it, please just say, no, he wants us to do X. Who in here do you think has the coolest part? The basses do. So why? Why do they have the coolest part? Moving notes. Can you all hear those moving notes clearly?
No.
I can. It's like, and why is that? Do you think the basses are slacking back there?
Yes.
My basses? The answer is always yes. Or could it be something else that maybe the rest of us aren't being sensitive enough to let those lines come out?
Maybe we're not cutting off.
And the cutoffs, he mentioned cutoffs for another song. I don't know where he wants you to cut off on this because he didn't say, but that was something I was going to mention too. So let's let those basses come through on the moving notes. Here's an example that stuck out to me on that second page, that flip side. Everybody has a dotted half note on sine. You're just hanging out on this note. The bass has got ba da da, and that's like super cool. Everybody else should like chill out, right? And let those basses have their moment.
Melissa,
Yeah.
is there a break after sine on right where you're talking there, or before we?
Are we talking about that same measure?
Three.
Wait, are we on measure 3 now? Is that what you just asked me?
Have that marked. Yes.
He's talking about measure 9, that extra little beat there that we have up, so holding the half note with that little dot on there. Do you want it as like a little break, or held as the quarter rest?
Well, see, now that's kind of going to be his interpretation. For me, I would maybe just retardando that thing and everybody take a break on the rest while the sopranos go 4, and then we're in. That's how I would do it, but I don't know how he wants to do it. Has he mentioned that to you yet? Well, let's try it. Okay, so so we got 2 things right now we're going to try to do. We've got page 2 right there at measure 9/10. Then we're going to slow that down just a hair, and then 4, but you're going to breathe when the sopranos are doing that. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, measure 13. Everybody's going to pull back a hair and let those basses carry us into that next phrase. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So how do we get into that? Let's see. How about measure 6, should old acquaintance? Ready, should all. 1, 2. Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old. Here it comes. 1, 2, 3. Old lang syne. Here it comes, that bass moment. Everybody else pull back. Stop right there. Wasn't that glorious?
Yes.
That was like ridiculously good, and it was just so yummy to hear that bass line come through and everybody else just letting that happen. So, I mean, I would make a mark in your music to pull back right there and let those basses, not you pull it back, let that shine. He didn't say anything to me about it, so I don't know. Did he say something to you guys about that?
He wanted us to continue with forte.
Yeah, for all of the nine.
He wants you to, yeah, Julia?
So he had us do forte here, and then he wanted us to go soft in the middle, and then forte back here. But I don't know about that part.
Yeah, I mean, I
Oh,
think it makes
It's possible we can split
sense. Like to give you basic through.
I'd have to write all that in to remember.
Yeah,
all
yeah,
of
me
that
too.
right
I
there.
wrote that down.
What he wrote, yeah. I would say percent. Yeah, I would say percent. That would be my intuition. Okay, so the question was about those dynamics on the second page. He had you guys write in at measure 10 forte, then you're gonna pull it back around my dear, something with, mezzo piano, mezzo forte, bringing it back out on Auld sine. But the question, if I got you right, was what are we doing with that dotted half note? Are we growing on it, or are we? I would say a gentle grow, that you never ever sit on a note. You never just sit there and sing that note and let it die. So you want to give it a little nudge. You have to be gentle because we got to let those basses come through, right? But that energy that carries the pitch through, that's where the beauty is. If you just let it sit, then that's all it's going to feel like is that you sat on it, right? But if you give it that little something, then it's going to have that energy that it needs. That help? Okay, let's go to the beginning for a second. I want to ask you about the breathing that you're doing in here and see if that's what he wanted you to do or if you've just kind of gotten this habit that you're doing it. Let's take a look. You've got should all the acquaintance be forgot, giant breath, and but the basses have got and they got this stuff going on while y'all are taking a gasp of breath. Is that what you want? Is that what he's asked you to
He
do?
wanted a very clear T, and so he actually told us that we're gonna basically have a breath there, so the T on the and.
Did he? Okay. Would you be willing to try something?
Yeah.
What if you put the T on the and? So, be forgotten. So the T is still there, but you're carrying through. No?
He specifically.
He specifically said, okay. He specifically didn't say anything to me, so then we'll do that. Okay, so then keep that breath right there so you got it. And never brought to mind. Take a look at the measure 5. There's that dotted half note thing again where the top 3 voices are just hanging out. You can give it a little something something, but who's the most important there?
Big.
Yeah, you gotta let that come out. And I would imagine that Gary would agree with that. And if you just take a look at the bass line in general, they're rock stars having to do all that stuff. And let's make sure you can hear them. If you can hear them, the audience is going to hear it too. This is going to be this beautiful, moving choir rather than stagnant. You're going to hear all of that movement and flow. Should we do it again?
Yep.
All right. Feel like sitting at the edge of your chair? Standing from the waist up. Fresh pitch. Let's do it. 1, 2. Bring it out, bass. So hold on. If you're gonna put the T on it, then you all have to agree to put the T on it, right? Be forgot. And you're gonna have to put it right there on that and. Ready? Say it. Speak it. Be forgot and. Yeah, that's where you're gonna have to do it, if that's what he wants you to do. Am I right?
What he said.
Okay, then that's where you're gonna have to do it. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Here it comes. Nice to you, Miss Reynolds. Who's more important? Here comes another T. Same thing. Pull it back. marking that in music. I always draw eyeglasses if there's something I need to really watch for. That might be one of those things, all those T's that he wants you to cut off. And since it's consistent that he wants it the same, you know, it should be kind of a given each time you get around to that. Could have used that bass line coming out on sine again and everybody kind of pulling it back. What if we start at 10? 1, 2. Who's more important? There comes that G. Better. Now in verse 2, did he have to change dynamics at all? Huh? And change the language. Oh! We got some Gaelic here, okay. It's Gaelic, right? Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Are you using some accent in there? Gaelic is so hard. I've done 2 pieces in Gaelic with my choirs, and the music was a piece of cake. The language was a nightmare. It's so hard, isn't it? Woo. Okay, here we go. Oui, toi? Yeah? 1, 2, here we go. Oui, toi, real true Gaelic singers, they're very bright, they're very brassy and in the front, almost a nasally quality. So if you want to be an authentic, doing the best authentic, you know, listen to some of that and you'll hear that forward placement kind of sound. Huh?
Can you say it for us?
Oh, because I have not done this before. We twee han run a boot de braise and who de goon one's feen or fine? I have a different writing here. Feen, I see. Fine. Okay, fine. So that's like that grinding of the vowel. Fine. Wir wander meine a weary foot zijn Auld lang zijn. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Try it. Be nasally. Be improper singers that blend. Okay, 1, 2. Here we go. We authentically, you sound way too American, way too pretty, and you're gonna have to make it a lot more to get that quality.
We can fix that.
Yeah. We tway heinru da boot. Is that about? Boot the breeze and food. You got that's gonna be your best bet. What's that? Yes, big bagpipe.
Be a bagpipe.
Oh,
that's a good idea. But I couldn't remember.
Never thought of that analogy. That's perfect. Here we go. Give it one more shot. Be a bagpipe. 1, 2. We fly yeah. So is it fine or is it fighting? You gotta go to that second vowel. Which is the worst thing we want to do. We're like, no, don't do that. But it's not us, it's their culture, right? Mm-hmm.
For the bass moving part, you want to put that on E. Okay.
I am just guessing, because I didn't even know this was a thing until now. Where's that line?
On 5.
Right at the beginning of 5.
Does he not just have you singing that on one vowel sound? Oh, you want to go fine or fine? I would say if it were my choir, I would go on beat 2 to that E. Fine, and joining everybody on the E vowel.
Beat 2 is ones, so we have a different word on
On beat 2? On measure 5?
fine, ones, fine. Right? Isn't that?
Not on verse 2.
Not there.
Let me follow the bass line. Take it from the top of verse 2. Let me just kind of follow the bass line and see where that word lands. Here we go, because I'm reading off of 2 things, so this makes it a little funky. Here we go. 1, 2. Now you're right there. Fine. That's what I would suggest, but he may want something totally different.
You have been surprising when they get that.
Yeah, well, I would love it.
He'll never have me back.
I doubt that.
Okay, let's give it one more shot. Basis, does that help clarify? For now, yeah, use pencil lightly. 1. Yeah. Twa. This way is the phonetic here, it looks like twa. Twa, hai, run. And the R's you flip gently. Run. They're almost like a D sound in Spanish, so run. I think it's run and not run. Maybe it's run. Hold on. Run. Okay. Any other questions I can try to help and enlighten you about? Just kidding. Okay. Ready? We do everything that you would never ever do and blend with your neighbor while doing it. 1, 2. We yeah, that was nice. Ooh, that was nice. So the question is, it going to go sine, like the previous word?
Probably.
Yeah.
Is it sine or is it sine? And the diphthong is at the end, or are you going to do the second vowel?
I think it should match.
But I don't know. Like, I don't have a background in Gaelic. I just, the pieces that I've taught, I have a really great like chart that I can go, oh yeah, this, and I've just kind of gotten used to it, but I don't want to tell you something that's not true. So has he mentioned if it's zine or if it's zayin?
No.
I have it spelled with the SY.
I mean, it would make sense to go fayin and zayin,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
But I don't know if that's accurate, so you might put a question mark on that and say, hey Gary, or G, sorry. I forget the class we call G now, right?
No, he doesn't
He
mind.
does, sorry.
Yeah.
I asked him.
Okay, so that's verse 3 or 2, and you gotta memorize that bad boy. Good luck with that. All right, do you want to try it memorize?
No.
How are we gonna learn it if we don't try it?
Right? If you don't at least try, so let's do verse 1 English. Piece of cake. Just gotta put some T's here and there, right? Let the bases come through. Verse 2. Sit up a little taller and try to sing it. We'll do our best. Let's go. Verse 1, no peeking, except for me. Verse 1, we're going to go memorize verse 1 and 2. Because he said memorize. That's what he told me. 1, 2, should. Should all here comes the T. Acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind. Should here comes the T. Acquaintance be forgot. Nice. Days of old lang syne. Old lang ask him next week, right? Okay, you did that memorized. Little pat on the back. Let's try verse 3. 4. Oh, 3 is Gaelic too. You don't need to torture ourselves.
A leader, teacher, person. Measure 13 altos. We're going down to the original melody of Take a Cup. We're going across. It's supposed to be, A to FF.
Let's hear it. Altos. We'll take a cut. Pick up to 14. 2, 3. Is the issue or the idea that we're not going low enough on the
We're going on A to a G, the word A, take a cup, so we're going down scale wise.
Measure
Some are.
6. Measure 6 is referring to that word.
Instead of
Oh, I see. Okay, so yeah, let's do flip. Go to measure 6, altos. Well, since we're talking about verse 3, let's use that. Altos, verse 6, and then flip. Now do the other one on page, the next page, we'll take a cup. This one's different. 1, 2, 3. Flip back.
Yeah.
Flip back. Do it again. 6 and go. Stop. Flip. 1, 2, go. There you go. Does that help?
Yeah.
Cool.
Just want to remind people that it's it's not kindness. It's supposed to be like of. So just
Kindness, not kindness. Okay, so it's more like the of, that vowel sound of, not kindness. That makes sense. You guys ready to try verse 3? Say yes. Yes. Let's go. 4. Here we go. 1, 2, 4. Hold on. What's your first word? And? So what is your vowel on and? So which one is it? The worst vowel, well, there are 2 really horrible vowels to sing in the English language, a and it. They're horrible. And we have to agree, is it going to be the pop and, or is it going to be the British on? Which one is it? That's what you guys have to decide.
Go better with the other language.
Well, consider what has your tone quality been at the beginning, verse 1? Has it been in more American tone, or has it been a more British, round, warmer tone? So is it more bright and forward, or is it dark and warm? What has it been so far? Keep it the same.
Let's go with the warm British.
I like that a lot. And so that's her vote. What do y'all want to do?
Even though we don't know anything about Brexit.
I'm not gonna, I don't know. I know this much, and so I refuse to comment. But, so what is your consensus here? On or and?
And
All in favor of and, raise your hand. All in favor of on, raise your hand. That is not a very good consensus, because a lot of you didn't raise your hand or your hand. So I don't know what to tell you. So that's a question mark. Is it and or is it on? Because I'm going to tell you right now, it sounds like 2 different groups of people singing when you sang that vowel just now.
We forgot and never brought to mind. We don't say on never brought to mind. She just got and.
So if I were just listening, I would agree with you that you have a more American tone quality in this piece. As I've just listened to you tonight, it sounds more American. That's not right or wrong, it's just my observation. And so if that's the tone quality that he and you all want to keep, then you would want to go, and it still needs to be tall. You don't want to go, and, we want, and, it has to have that space. Yeah. But the tone is going to be in the front rather than on in the back. It's such a little thing, but it's those little things that really add up to make, a good choir a great choir. And it's just those tougher decisions that are tiny. So let's go with and for tonight. Can we agree with that one? Yeah. American and. Ready? 2, 3. And you Is he making you put a D on friend?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a voiced consonant. You want friend, and it's gonna come on the same place that the T is gonna come, right? D's are so hard. And it has to sound like a D and not a T. These are tricky little boogers. So, trusty friend. Ready? And speak it.
Trusty friend.
Yeah, it almost has an at the end of it. Here we go. And two, breath.
And here
comes
my
the D.
trusty friend.
Yeah! Did you hear that? Hold on. Take a second. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That was really good. Do this. I'll tell you what it means in a second. Snap. Okay, so years ago, I was at a music educators conference, and there was this director who brought his high school choir in, and they were phenomenal. But what was really interesting about this man is he had had a traumatic brain injury years before, and literally had to learn how to eat, dress, walk, all those things, like infant to grown man directing a choir. And so during his recovery time, he was telling us the story of reading about the brain and different studies of the brain, and it's so fascinating to me. So I was like locked in. I'm like, dude, what do you got? And so he said, this is just one of these little tricks that if I want to remember just one little thing, it's not a long, like, I need to remember how to read, the entire Bible, I have to memorize it. This is not going to do it. But a tiny thing like, and, remembering where that was. He said, this little thing shoots off little wires in the brain, and like it locks it down. And I just sat there going, what? That's crazy. And so I have my kids every once in a while. You can't use it all the time, but once in a while, lock it in. Use it or lose it. It may never work for you, but it might. Try it, right? Here we go. Here's 1, 2,